Good morning. I think a lot of you are wondering what is KLM doing here, and I fully understand. I mean, if I walk around, I only see guys. That's the first thing that I notice, and I only see gamers. I am not a gamer. I'm the kind of person who plays Cooking Fever, and I play that all the time. But my kids are big gamers. Minecraft, bike race, they're playing GTA, which they're not allowed to, but they do it anyway. But I am manager social media within KLM. And I know about customer needs. And that is where the connection between gaming and social and companies comes along. And I would like to tell you something more about that. For those of you who have no clue what KLM is Royal Dutch Airlines. It's an airline in the Netherlands. And we're 95 years old, flying under our own name. So we're a legacy company. And our main challenge is huge. We don't have a big home market, as for instance Air France has, or British Airways. We're a very small company, so our business model is built around the fact that we want to get as many customers as possible to our hub at Schiphol and fly them around the world on intercontinental destinations. That is how we make our money. And we're talking about 27 million passengers, which we are transporting on a yearly basis from one end of the world to the other end. And that is what was so interesting when we stepped into the world of social media, that we could suddenly connect to people that we never could connect to before. I mean, we were used to doing big marketing campaigns, sending out messages to everybody around the world and hoping that everybody wanted to fly with us. And suddenly we were on Facebook with right now more than 7 million fans and interacting with our customers. The same thing is happening in China. We're present at WeChat, we're present at Sina Weibo. In Russia, we're present at VKontakte. So suddenly we have an opportunity to connect with a lot of people who have never ever heard about KLM, but who are suddenly following us and who might be potential customers. And that is where the connection with gaming comes along. We believe we should be present where our customers are. And if you talk about gaming, then you talk about a totally new market to us. Gaming is, and you know that a lot better than I do, a huge potential market with millions of people who are gaming all the time, who are in constant interaction with, in our case, a brand. It is a totally new audience to us. It is about continuous engagement, because if somebody is playing a game, and I'm not talking about advert games, but I'm talking about real games, so casual games, strategic 3D games, they are playing in sessions of around 20 minutes, maybe an hour, and they're continuously engaging with your brand. And that is extremely interesting to us. And most important, gaming gives us the opportunity to make a connection between offline and online. If we use gaming in a very good way, we are able to influence the behavior of our customers. Can we make a game which makes people be on time at the gate? Can we make a game to sell tickets? Can we make a game which gives us the opportunity to know where our customers are? All those opportunities are a reason why we decided to step into the world of gaming. So what have we been doing so far? We thought about this story and we thought, okay, let's give it a try. So in 2013, we introduced our first game, Aviation Empire. A strategic 3D game which is about building connections, leading your own airline, building up airports, etc. So what happened to us? So up to this moment, we have 700,000 downloads. We're doing pretty well in the App Store and the Android Store. We have 4 stars, 4.5 stars, so far everybody seems to like it. Most important, of those 700,000 downloads, we see that most of those downloads are in markets which are focus markets to us. So the US, I mean, nobody knows KLM in the US, but they are in our top 10 of downloads. China, nobody knows KLM in China, but we're in the top 10 of downloads up there as well. So it suddenly gives us the opportunity to get into contact with potential customers who had never ever heard about KLM before. Of those 700,000 downloads, we have about 6,000 in-app transactions. It's a free game, you can play it completely free, but if you want to buy stuff, you can, to speed up the process. And on the online-offline connection stuff, we built in a GPS check-in opportunity, so every time a real customer of us is flying around the world, entering San Francisco, he can check in via the game and get San Francisco in the game as well. So that was our first experiment regarding what is possible on the online-offline connection stuff. And so far, we're really, really satisfied with the results so far. And on an average, people play sessions of 20 minutes, which means that they're interacting with the KLM brand 20 minutes at a time. I mean, if we want to do that with a television commercial, we pay about millions of euros. And right now, with this game, they're continuously playing it, doing it over and over again. So to us, those results are really satisfying, and we want to continue this story. This spring, we will introduce the Chinese version of Aviation Empire. So instead of Facebook and Twitter login, we put in WeChat and Sina Weibo. We translated the whole game, of course, and we adjusted it a little bit to the Chinese culture. This is a small experiment. We just want to see what is happening because we already saw that there were so many Chinese downloads, but we're going to try it in Chinese now. I mean, those downloads were English. Now we're going to try it in Chinese. And this spring we will also introduce a very simple advert game, a mini game, which will be available in WeChat KLM. Also a little experiment to see what is happening if we add a little bit gaming into WeChat. We hope to get more WeChat followers, but we also hope to get more people to download Aviation Empire in Chinese. So this is all about Aviation Empire. The results are really satisfying to us, so we decided we want to be in there for the long run. In July last year, we hired Romar Bukour, who is up here, our project manager gaming, and we're developing a lot of more new games right now. We want to make a whole center of gaming as KLM because we believe it has a lot of added value to us. And our new adventure begins today. In the spring, we will introduce our second game. As I explained to you before, we have Aviation Empire, which is a hardcore 3D game. It's completely in the top right if you talk about gaming. We introduced the advert game, we introduced the Chinese version, but we decided we wanted to have a game which is better understanding for a bigger group of people. So we decided to make an entertainment casual game. And that is our new game.
What if a simple idea can change our world? And the right choices can change the way we fly. With state-of-the-art design and aerodynamics, we can go where no airplane has gone before. And now, with our revolutionary new flight control system, we can bring aviation back to the people. To you, to share and have fun. Jets, Airborne Spring 2015.
This is a small part of our new game. And why is this one so interesting to us? With the lessons we learned from Aviation Empire, we tried to develop a game which has all those things in there which are important to us. It is really social. It connects the social world with the gaming world. That is the first one. The second one, it is a game that can be played by millions of people. It is not like Aviation Empire, a hardcore 3D game. And third of all, we're looking into this online-offline connection, which will be available in the next releases. My main message to all of you is I believe that in 5 or 6 years, many companies like us will be present in the gaming industry. I don't know if they will do it in our way, but what I would like to say to any company which is thinking about this, go beyond the advert game. The ad for game is only a small marketing instrument, but go the way we are going, because I believe that it is really strong and powerful to make your brand available to a bigger group of people. Thank you very much.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for that. I mean, I find this kind of stuff fascinating. It's something I've been wondering about for many years. I mean, back in the days of dial-up modems, we were trying to find ways to make flash games work with brands as well, and we never managed to make that work. And I think the reason was we were coming from a kind of a promotional point of view, a revenue-generating point of view, trying to get money out of the brand, rather than I think what you're doing, which is coming at it from well, this is our brand, how are we going to engage with our audience? Is that a fair summary?
Yeah, it is. It is, absolutely.
So what do you think is the sort of core lesson you've kind of gained from that? I mean, is it something that other brands should be doing more of? What measurable things would you say you're gaining that other people should pay attention to?
Well, I mean, if it is the bigger audience which you can reach, that's the first one. It's a completely different audience which we reach with our marketing campaigns and stuff like that. That's the first one. The second one is it enriches your brand in a totally different way, because it asks about, well, Romar always says any game you make, it has to be fun. That is always the first pillar which he's talking about. And mainly if companies think about gaming, it is about serious gaming, you know, like how can we tell our employees that they have to think about safety and stuff like that. What we are doing is really completely different, because it takes an investment, that is the first one, but if you look at the cost and the revenues, then it is so much stronger than what you can do with marketing campaigns and stuff like that. But it is, if you do it really well, it can be an additional revenue model.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
absolutely.
Let's be fair. So far, we haven't really been focusing about payments in-app payments and stuff like that.
In some ways, you kind of got the liberty to do that, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
This idea, I think, though, is something that I think is very important, not just to do with brands building games, but also game brands building brands. The realization of brand building and brand enrichment being a critical part of the relationship with the player is something I think is largely, I don't know, missing is too strong a word, but it's a problem that we have because we're measuring every single install in the games world.
Yes.
And I think it's, is it fair to say you're free of that? Oh, you are doing that as well? Okay.
We're doing that as well. We're doing that on social, we're doing that on gaming.
Okay.
We really want to know what is happening, what is the added value. If we have a download, is somebody there to stay, or is he only downloading it and throwing it away immediately?
And so you're actually looking for engagement because that's connecting a positive relationship with the brand.
Absolutely, but there's also the possibility of social logins. I mean, it is about data, you know, so if you connect the social logins from your game with all the other stuff you're doing, you get a really rich profile of a certain person. And I mean, that can be really intrusive if you use it in the wrong sense. But if you use it in the good sense, it can really be of added value to a player as well. If we know that you love to travel to New York, and we know that you are gaming with us, and if we are able to to build something into the game which gives you the opportunity to, for instance, win a ticket to New York, then it's of added value to you and to us as well, you know?
Absolutely, And you can use the assets available to you. I'm going to hog the questions if I don't stop and actually reach out. So, has anyone got any questions in the room? Oleg? So, do you want to just introduce yourself? I know we know who you are, but if you could, just for the purpose.
Yeah, so I work for gaming side. That's a games company. So, like, the question is natural. You're an airline, and you have the access to install the games to in-flight entertainment system.
Yes.
So why don't you do that?
We are thinking
Actually,
about
can
that.
I just get you to repeat the question, because I know we're being recorded and it'd be useful.
The question is, why don't we add our games to the in-flight entertainment system? That is what we're thinking about. The big problem is we don't have Wi-Fi yet on all flights. So what we really want to do is, yes, we want to add it to the in-flight entertainment system, but we also want to make it possible that if you have been playing, that you can continue on the ground again. Right now, if we put it in the in-flight entertainment system, it will be there, but it will be a completely separate session. And as we are talking about continuously gaming and we want to keep you to the game, we're really afraid that if we put you in the plane, you play Aviation Empire and you come to level 1953, that you that you will say like, oh, now I have to start all over again because I'm on the ground. So it's really boring to get to 1953 again. So yes, it is on our list, and Wi-Fi is being enrolled in the coming years, in the coming months actually. So it is on the list to be implemented. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the more Wi-Fi and more planes.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Jazz if it is the next speaker to come up. But whilst we're doing that, I'm going to reach out and see if there's any more questions that we want to ask. Anyone else got any more questions for Karen? Any more questions? It's your last chance. Anyway, so I found this very fascinating. The idea of brands reaching into the games market and using it to enrich their brand themselves, I think fascinating. The idea that we're communicating through games as a medium is something that's completely understood, underused, and it's fantastic to see KLM doing it. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.